Hello friends, I am Neeraj Kumar and I'm back again with a new podcast. Today I am sharing space with an amazing personality who is not only the strong face of a woman of Madhya Pradesh but also of India, and who has been doing exemplary work in the field of Khadi textile. And I'm feeling really proud to say that she has been acknowledged and appreciated by our Honorable Prime Minister Sir Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi ji for the kind of work she is doing. And recently she got a pride to represent youth, women, Khadi and handloom textile entrepreneurs at Pravasi Bharatiya Divas 2023 held at Indore. She's a lady, Khadi business entrepreneur, and she is a founder at Umang Shridhar Designs Private Limited. By now you must have understood of whom I am talking about. She is none other than but Miss Umang Shridhar ma'am. She is with us today to share her journey, to share her experience with us, with our audience. So I would like to welcome her on our channel, and let's try to get some useful insights from her wisdom, that how she has started her journey. And thank you ma'am, and welcome to our show. So ma'am, can you please tell us about your background and how you became a Khadi business entrepreneur? Please tell us.
Hello everyone, I am Umang Shridhar and I'm founder of Umang Shridhar Designs Private Limited. I started my journey in the year 2013 when I was studying at Delhi University, and was actually part of many societies that Delhi University is famous for. And I was working with Delhi Police for different subjects. Exploring my leadership qualities, exploring different and learning different skill sets at college. So I think college has played a very important role in my life journey, and that's where I started learning how to become a good leader, and also explore different skill sets and how to collaborate with different kind of people and coexist. So I think all these things happened at the university, and meanwhile, like in the final year of my college, the most dreadful Nirbhaya Hatyakand happened, and that's when it shook me to the core, and I decided that I am going to work for women in this country, and especially the rural women, because women in the urban setup definitely have a voice, and there are a lot of people and opportunities for them, but I feel that because I come from a small village in Bundelkhand, I felt that I have a responsibility towards the society, towards the people that I come from, and that's how I took this opportunity. I said, okay, I've got the best education, and now I'm going to go back to my roots and work for them, with them, and develop an enterprise which is global. So this was in 2013. I was only 21 years old, and I started my NGO first. And after that, I realized that running an NGO is a very difficult work, and I had been part of an international organization during my university days, and I have been knowing of social enterprises. So I decided to start a social enterprise, and this was in 2015 that I came up with the idea of KhaDigi, and we decided to do digital printing process on the khadi fabric. And why khadi? Because khadi is not just a fabric, and it's a thought process, that it gives employment. Like 1 meter of making khadi fabric gives employment to around 12 people. And that's how I think khadi aligned with the vision of my life, or the goal of my life. And I was like, this is it I want to do for the rest of my life. And I started, and with no knowledge in textile, with no knowledge in fashion, but I decided to build a textile company. And I think rest is history. Today we are sitting here.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience. Ma'am, my next question to you is that how do you source and select material that is being used in your khadi products?
So we are a textile company, and we only make textiles and off-loom products. So we are basically a B2B textile supplier, and we work with majorly all big retailers and designers in India, and we are also exporting to 7 countries. So we make textiles, we make certain products, but we mostly sell in wholesale format, and we do not have like our own label wherein we are selling product under our own label. So the fibers that we are using is varying from organic cotton to bamboo to soybean to mulberry silk. So we are exploring different fibers to be spun on handloom, hand charkha, and then later woven on a handloom. So yeah, it's a lot of experiment that we have done on a handloom. We are trying to explore the skill sets of our artisans. How much they know and how much they can actually create. And create these world-class textiles which are high on quality, high on design, and high on luxury. So that's the kind of brand that we are trying to develop.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please describe your design and production process?
Yeah, so we are basically we are trying to organize the supply chain of the handloom textile and the khadi industry. So there were a lot of drawbacks in this whole industry, and we could really solve a lot of problems. We cannot still say that we have solved all the problems, but we are definitely towards that road. We are in the right direction. We supply the good quality raw material first to the artisan. We upskill the artisan to work on our upgraded loom. So we help them set up looms, better looms, then upskill them, give them raw material design, and then monitor their production process. Meanwhile, we also create market. We reach out to the relevant customers. We develop a business plan, and while doing all this, we also provide funding support to our artisans. So, we are helping the whole craft industry in making the whole process of production easy.
Great, ma'am, great. And ma'am, how do you market and promote your khadi products?
So, because it's a B2B company, we are majorly through traditional, methods that we have. We know certain people in the industry, and we reach out to them. We attend certain exhibitions. We do have a social media presence, so we are promoting ourselves and our brand there. And then I think we developed our e-commerce website, but it's still, so it's like social media is there, online presence is there, then the offline presence where we go to exhibitions, we do go visit them in their offices, our client in their offices, and then we sit with them and develop collections with them, and then come back and produce it with our artisans.
Okay. And can you tell us about any challenges that you have faced when you have started this business and how you overcome them?
Many challenges. I think as an entrepreneur, when you start so early at such young age with no knowledge in the sector, I have come across many challenges. I think the major challenge of any 2-tier or 3-tier cities entrepreneurs is to find the right resource. Human resource, I think that's always a very big problem, building a right team in smaller cities. Even in bigger cities, I've seen my friends struggling to find the right people. So that's always a process. You learn, you make mistakes. And apart from that, I think finding capital is a challenge. It wasn't for me. But I think I definitely feel that for others, finding capital is definitely a challenge, and finding right partners, that's difficult. Creating your own niche, because a lot of people get lost in this starry world, and they are always like, we want to replicate the models, we want to be like this person or be like this entrepreneur, and in reality that doesn't work in your market or doesn't work with your own personality or with the kind of people that you're working with. It's good to learn from others' mistakes, but you are supposed to make your own mistakes and learn from them. So I think that's the best kind of learning. So be ready to make a lot of mistakes, and these challenges are just way of exploring yourself. So, yeah.
Sure. And ma'am, how do you see the future of khadi industry evolving?
I mean, it's going to be, with Dior show happening at Mumbai and Dior has been producing in India for so many years, but now it is acknowledging that it is all these designs and beautiful embroideries are done in this country, means that there is definitely a big market. Again, Nita Ambani, Mukesh Ambani Art Center, which is launched day before, is a sign that the craft industry, the khadi industry, the handloom industry is going to flourish, and that's why so many big people are now investing and creating such world-class infrastructure for craft in this country. So I'm sure we need many more entrepreneurs in the craft industry so that we can create that world-class luxury that that world requires.
Yeah. Ma'am, can you speak to the impact your business has on the community and a wider textile industry?
Yeah, so I think we have been in past 6 years, we have been able to work with more than 2,500 artisans now, and 80% of it has been women. We started with a very small number of just 10 artisans, and now, I mean, we don't work with them on a regular basis, but in past we have worked with so many artisans and been able to empower them, connect them to capital, to design, upskill them. Now we have also pivoted and launched a different vertical in our organization for capacity building and marketing linkages and then funding support. So it's happening in more organized manner, and the vision for our organization is to actually train 1 million artisans in the next 7 years and build them into entrepreneurs. So that's something that we are focused upon now.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, how do you ensure fair labor practices and ethical production in your supply chain?
So craft is a environment friendly industry, and because everything is done by hand, it's mostly eco friendly, it's mostly power saving. But of course, I think the dyes that are being used, we make sure that they are azo-free, if not natural. We generally use organic cotton or bamboo Ecotex certified fibers to make our textiles. We do make sure that all our artisans are paid, well. We are paying them fair wages as per the hours spent, as per the skill level of the artisans and the intricacy of the design that they have created. So we are trying to be fair and just to our artisans, and also give them other benefits and make them feel as if they are the owners of this industry and not us. So the whole mindset of that they are just the labor is something that we are trying to break and change. So we keep interacting with them and telling them that they are the shareholders or stakeholders of this community, of this industry, and we are also creating OFPOs or farm producer companies where they are the shareholders of the organization.
Okay, ma'am, really commendable. And ma'am, can you share any innovative or unique strategies that you have implemented in your business?
Yeah, so far, like, we have sold lakhs of meters of fabric, but we don't own even a single loom or a charkha. So the idea was that, first thing that I realized was that we have a lot of infrastructure that is being developed by the government in the past, 75 years. So there were a lot of looms, there were a lot of charkhas, there were people who were already skilled. There were some tuta-futa infrastructures, but we tried to actually start from that. Like, so the idea is the people who are already trained, the people who already have machines, first let them have business, and then we build and create more. So that's something that we have always followed. Okay. We've always kept our mission and or the objective of the organization, why I created this, why I chose Khadi to work with, is something that, so everything that we do revolves around that. So we never, digress or go away from our objective and the mission that we have for our company. So it just keeps us, we keep pivoting, but it keeps us centered. So I think that's something that is core to our strategy. Whatever we do, it's always about the artisans, it's about the craft, it's about sustainability, it's about creating more just and equal community for craft.
Ma'am, can you share that moment, that golden moment when you've been appreciated by our Honorable Prime Minister, sir, for the work that you are doing? So what was that and how did you feel at that time?
I clearly remember, I think we were trained by an anchor and who does all Prime Minister's events, and then apart from that, a lot of IAS officers, ministers were taking our interviews so that we do not fumble, so that we look prepared when we talk in front of the Prime Minister. And it was, but there was something that my father said. Two things. One, that I share my birthday with him, I must share it with him and I must tell him. And the second thing, that I must take time to visit him sometime. And during the conversation, it felt, I remember the time I held the mic and the time it got over. It was like I could only hear people's claps, and he just made me feel so comfortable. I think, and it was just different energy. I think I was representing a lot of women in the craft. I think every woman in the craft industry for sure, and also a lot of women who want to do something, who are ambitious. So the energy at that moment was about representing the community, and it went very well. I think he appreciated me, and he did mention about me in the speech that he gave later. And I think it took me almost 1 hour to get out of that hall, because each and every woman almost came up to me and they were crying and they were holding my hands, and it was a great feeling for me to actually represent women on that platform.
Yes, ma'am. You're an inspiration for our many women and girl candidates who want to pursue a career as an entrepreneur. So it's really great. Ma'am, I just want to ask you that how do you plan on expanding your business and reaching a wider audience?
So like I said, we are planning on to obviously train 1 million artisans, and these artisans, we want to connect them with the market and also to capital. So we are working on an app where anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur in the rural setup, we are trying to develop a curriculum which is accessible by all these people in different languages, and they can obviously connect with the international, national market and can access capital to start their small businesses. So this is specifically for creating a safe environment for the people, or the youth or women who are starting up in the rural India.
So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing so much of valuable information with us, with our viewers and beneficiaries. So that will definitely going to help them and definitely pave the dedicated path for them, so that those who are willing to start their journey as an entrepreneur, it will going to work for them. And I would like to wish you a great success for all your future endeavors. And here I would like to conclude this conversation by dedicating few lines to you as well as to our audience. कि जो आसानी से मिल जाए वो ख्वाहिश है किसे, कि जो आसानी से मिल जाए वो ख्वाहिश है किसे, बड़े ही खुश नसीब होते हैं वो माँ बाप, नाम रोशन करने वाली बेटी मिलती है जिसे. सो मैम, आप हमारी जो बेटियां और हमारी जो बहनें हमसे जुड़ी हुई हैं इस चैनल के माध्यम से, आप उनके लिए बहुत एक इंस्पिरेशन है. तो मैं कहना चाहूँगा अपने दर्शकों से कि हमने नारी को लक्ष्मी के रूप में, दुर्गा के रूप में, सरस्वती के रूप में पूजा है, लेकिन जब एक नारी किसी काम को अपने हाथ में लेती है, और पर्टिकुलरली जब हम कहते हैं सशक्त राष्ट्र का निर्माण करने के लिए और एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत का निर्माण करने के लिए, तो उसकी छवि साक्षात ऐसी होती है जिसका आप प्रत्यक्ष प्रमाण देख सकते हैं। हमारे साथ मैम है। सो मैम, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग योर वैल्यूएबल टाइम। और मैं आपसे अगले पॉडकास्ट में मिलता हूँ ऐसी एक नई कहानी, ऐसी एक नई शख्सियत के साथ, ताकि आप इनसे प्रेरणा लेते रहें और अपने जीवन में आप आगे बढ़ें, सफल बने। इसी के साथ मैं आज का यह पॉडकास्ट यहीं पे समाप्त करता हूँ।